There is huge news about the release date of episode 2. A Glitch just confirmed that they're gonna hold pop-up stores in Japan in April and May, where the fans will be able to buy merchandise in person and also take photos with life-sized cardboard cutouts of the characters. And while this is huge on its own, this isn't all. The Japanese fans will have an advanced screening of episode 2 on the 25th of April in the pop-up store, meaning that it's gonna be a huge store if they can hold a screening there, which means that we are most likely going to see the next episode in early May. Glitch and Gooseworks already said in the trailer that they released for season 1 that the episodes will come out when they're ready, but they were aiming to release episode 2 in May, which was said in their tweet for the trailer. And now we can be sure that if the episode is going to be ready for early screening at the end of April, then why would they delay the rest of the release that much? They definitely would want to keep the hype for episode 2 up as much as possible, and by screening the episode earlier for the Japanese fans, they have to be mindful about spoilers, especially with the rise of content farm channels who will take whatever characters they can get and turn it into some weird love story. And if somehow the new episode gets leaked, then the content farm channels are gonna take all the attention first because they're gonna come out with their videos about episode 2's plot before Glitch even releases their own, and it's possible that some kids will believe that this is really episode 2. And I know for an absolute fact their studios right now are on fire, like that one SpongeBob meme where they're all running around and the computers are on fire and the files are flying everywhere. If they can get episode 2 animated in their own style before Glitch does, they could probably make a lot of money, and they know that. And of course, the fans are very excited about the pop-up store and also the advanced screening of episode 2 because we've been waiting for episode 2 to release for almost 6 months now. And so if they're gonna screen the new episode on the 25th of April, then that means that they have finished their work or they're just on their last touches, as we only have 20 days left until they have to show episode 2 in its entirety. Or maybe it's possible that a few scenes will be left out so that the Japanese fans will still watch on the worldwide release. However, if you're wondering why the 6-month wait was so long, they also had to make a trailer for season 1, which is understandable that it took them so long to make because it was such high quality. However, considering that Murder Drones fans had to wait more than a year for their second episode to release, I think we're good. Plus, we can see that the Amazing Digital Circus hype does not die. The views on the pilot episode are still going up because the fans loved it so much that they go back to it from time to time while we're waiting for episode 2, and the plot is so complex that even if you watch the pilot 2 or 3 times, every single time you're still gonna notice new details about things you haven't seen before. As well, the pilot is now at 299 million views, 1 million views away from hitting 300, and so they're definitely gonna hit that before episode 2 releases. If episode 2 follows the trend of getting half as many views as episode 1, then that means they could pull 150 million views, or conservatively speaking, they could pull 100 million views, which is still absolutely crazy and more than they could ever hope for in the beginning. But what I'm thinking is that by keeping up the hype for the show, Glitch is able to have a way bigger budget for each new episode, meaning they can hire more animators so that they can speed up the process, and that way they can get out episodes much faster. But as for episode 2, we actually saw lots of sneak peeks already and new characters from the Candy Canyon Kingdom. However, we still can't be for sure what Gooseworks meant when she said that episode 2 is gonna be about depression, because just look at this bright pink world made out of literal candy, and look at these characters, they look harmless. Like, I'm not sure what kind of dark turn we're gonna see, but I've also thought about the possibility that Gooseworks and Glitch leading us on with these cute pink photos are them just making us think that everyone will be fine, but that's just not true. And since we know that the new characters are going to be NPCs, as it was confirmed by Gooseworks on Tumblr, and she also said that the next episode is going to be focused on a character we haven't met yet, then it makes me think, who could it be? We still really don't know anything about the existing circus members, at least their deeper personalities, and as well, we don't know anything about the characters who abstracted like Kaufmo or Queenie, and all the other circus members who we saw on the doors in the dorm hall, as their pictures were already crossed out and the abstractions were sent to the seller by Kane. But I hope we'll learn as much about them as well, and maybe that's the depression we'll see. Maybe we'll see a flashback of Kaufmo during the adventure. They could switch between the plot of the Candy Canyon Kingdom adventure and the plot of Kaufmo's past. past, as I know many people would be interested in seeing what happened to make him abstract, which would answer so many questions that the fans have had. And that could mean episode 2 could be a prequel episode, at least half and half, where half of it is the Candy Cane Kingdom and half of it is Kaufmo's past. However, we do know that Gooseworks said that each episode is going to focus on a specific character. So what if they do this in Kinger's episode? Because we know that Kinger got to the circus first, at least with all the circus members who are there right now, and so he already met all the abstracted members who are on the dorms. And so maybe we'll see a flashback then for a prequel episode, but we just don't know for sure. But looking back to the trailer, we saw 8 new characters, which are all gonna be NPCs, but some of them aren't even from the next episode, but are from episodes 3 and 4, like Orbsman, who is going to be a Spudsy's customer in the fast food adventure where we saw Jax working in the restaurant, or the character Martha Mildenhall, the green ghost lady, and her pet ghost dog, who is a smaller green ghost, and we don't know his name yet, and they could be from the Haunted Mansion adventure episode. However, it is possible that all this could be crammed in episode 2. I just think it's very unlikely, which is why I say this could be episode 3 and 4. So we're gonna see lots of new faces in each and every episode. And I actually have a crazy theory. What if the NPCs we see in the upcoming episodes will actually relate to one of the main characters which the episode is focusing on? Like, we know that the fast food episode could focus around Jax, and so I'm thinking that Orbsman is an NPC based on someone who Jax knew back when he was a human. And of course their memories get wiped when they get transferred into the circus, but they still do have some of their memories, like speaking English. So maybe Jax will see Orbsman and immediately be filled with anger, which is then gonna cause him to fail the adventure. As everybody knows, when you're angry you can't really do much, so Jax obviously won't calm himself down and we'll see some crazy stuff happen. But if we look at Gooseworks' Tumblr now, she was asked a very interesting question that caught my attention, and it's that, will Gangle be allowed to have happiness for more than a few minutes? And Gooseworks' answer was, there's a whole episode about that question, and while it's been implied that all the characters are in the circus for a reason, I'm very curious to find out what these reasons are, especially with Gangle. When Gooseworks posted this photo in which we see Ragatha, Pomni, and Gangle, she's smiling, which made the fans go crazy because we only saw Gangle be sad in the pilot episode, so it's good to see her with her happy face for once. But I think that she's probably doomed because she's not going to be allowed to be happy for a long time, as someone or something is going to break her happy mask to be sad, and she's just going to have to tough it out and fix her happy mask once again, never giving up. But we will find out more about all the characters very soon, because we only have to wait about 1 more month for Glitch to release the second episode. And I hope before that we're also going to get a trailer just for the second episode, because Glitch actually does that. Like with Murder Drones, they released a trailer for every single episode. When episode 7 was about to come out a week prior, they released the trailer for it. Even if it was only a few seconds long, hopefully Glitch does something for the Amazing Digital Circus to keep the hype going. And it's actually pretty cool to see how they're going to be having pop-up stores in Japan, meaning they're able to reach viewers from all around the world, and maybe they'll also have pop-up stores elsewhere, like in the USA or in Europe or in South America or wherever they so choose to do it, but hopefully they'll do it everywhere, and maybe they'll even make merch stores, and that could fund more and more episodes. And I really hope that episode 2 doesn't get leaked, but you know, if it does, I will be on it in 3 seconds. You will hear it all here first. But let me know when you think episode 2 will publicly release down in the comments. Thanks for watching, subscribe, and click on this video here.